Good evening. This is Open Topics with DonArmando, and I'm your host, DonArmando. Welcome to my site. Well, I just started a little bit late, so I'm going to be waiting for a special guest. So, in other news, I don't know how anybody feels about this, but RIP to the Brazilian soccer legend Pele. May his family find comfort in his passing in Brazil. And in other news, it looks like that Andrew Tate and his brother are arrested in Romania. News reports have been saying. So my thing is that what's really going on with Andrew Tate because he's supposed to be this big motivational speaker and he has all these things going for him, but yet the Romanian police, this is not his first time, but I think police in Romania, they actually arrested him about these accusations before of him running a sex trafficking ring. So my thing is that if they do the Romanian police know something that we in the states or people in England don't know about, or is there something more sinister what Andrew Tate is actually saying? Anybody who's actually listening, I want to have your viewpoints about that. Yeah, I know. It's like with anything, I don't. It's like for me to even have an opinion about Andrew Tate, I can't really say that I like him or I don't because I don't really know who he is. I don't know what he actually stands for. I mean, I see a couple of videos here and there, but for me to actually say, okay, I'm influenced or I disavow of Andrew Tate, I don't know because he's actually a new person to me. Yeah. So with Andrew Tate and everything like that, since I don't really have too much knowledge of this guy, anybody who's looking at this right now, I want to know more about him because I only see bits and videos of his quotes or interviews that he have done. So I from what I do know is that he is I guess a kickboxing champion and that he is biracial, meaning that his father is an African American and his mother is from Britain. So I guess since both him and his brother were actually born in the United States, they was actually raised in Britain. So I guess that's how he has a half um English and a half American accent. You kind of actually hear it when he actually enunciate words. So that's what I actually know about him and from the videos that I've actually seen of this guy on TikTok and Instagram. So, and if anybody who is Romanian that actually speaks English know about the justice system out there, feel free to chime in because I'll put the link in the description and I will actually like to talk to anybody. Even if a person is Romanian or is familiar with the European Union justice system. All right, I'm back. So I'll put the link in the description. Hey, how you doing, Don Jose?
Good evening, DonArmando. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, yeah, Happy New Year. So it looks like that two. Well, I've seen two stuff and two things in the news. One is the passing of Pele,
Mhm.
the legendary Brazilian soccer player. It looked like he had his bout with cancer and he passed away. And the second is of Andrew Tate. So my thing is that now that they're arresting him for allegedly people trafficking and violating women's rights, my thing is that they've actually arrested him, I guess, way back, him and his brother, for the same accusation, but it didn't stick. So my thing is that if this guy is actually supposed to be a motivational speaker of sorts, does he have a sinister side from his motivational speeches? Because all I see is like a whole bunch of interviews that he has done in the past and in the future, and people take clips and they share it like it's a motivational speech. So, what's your thoughts on this new accusation, Don Jose?
This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I don't like to make a comment either way without without knowing all the facts. It's just that I have been preoccupied uh, with other concerns. So I really don't have an
Right.
opinion other than, hopefully he'll get a fair trial, and then whatever will be the outcome will be the outcome.
Yeah, because I it's like I don't know about Romania. I mean, I even I don't know about like the land or the apartments or whatever. So Romania, if I was to actually to move to a country, I would say that Romania will be like the last place I would ever think of moving. But then again, I'm not familiar with Europe at all, so maybe
Hmm.
somebody could tell me like the benefits of living in Romania.
Well, I'm sure there are some benefits. It's just that the problem is we don't know really anything regarding the country. So anything that we will share will be pure speculation on our parts. So,
Right.
and unfortunately, these YouTube streets are filled with people who speak before they think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just like our Canadian friend. You know the guy. that looks like you know, a mole or a sewer rat.
Oh yes,
So
yes, I know what you mean. Uh look, some people will do almost anything to get
to
views
chase
and
clout.
like and um and subs. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to. I don't want to like make this into another roasting session of hybrid vigor, or now his new title is hybrid the conqueror.
Okay, so my thing is this, right? In order for a person to call himself a conqueror or these grandiose titles that he calls himself, right?
Yes.
My things is this. I know from a historical standpoint, when you say I'm the conqueror or I'm the king or whatever grandiose title a person's going to have. Okay, so let's be real.
Hmm.
Intellectually, that person is not conquering anything. And second, I'm just saying, a lot of these people, they think that they could conquer or whatsoever, but all right, who's actually looking at you in the United States? And your page got shut down. So you're come you're looking from a standpoint trying to tell American people of the mixed community on how they should act and everything. When the fact is that the mixed spectrum it does goes beyond a person who is I could say a person who is actually has European and African blood, because you have certain people who actually identify as biracial, and they could be uh, a black or Indian or Asian and Asian or black or European, or there might be a person who's Asian and they might be mixed with somebody from from the Middle East. So therefore, when you actually open up the broad spectrum of a person being mixed, I mean, in the United States, there's a lot of possibilities because at the end of the day, certain people are actually attracted to each other, and there will be a lot of people who have double heritages. So, for one person who may or may have not visited or set foot in the United States to try to dictate on how a person should identify themselves, I gotta actually say that something is mentally wrong with them.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, the reality is this: we have come across a lot of individuals. Some of them, let's just say that they're members of the peanut gallery, and they have a problem um, accepting others' point of view and being triggered simply because they were being called off regarding their words or their actions.
Yeah,
So I'm trying not to talk about him so much. Okay, first of
right.
all, because look, I mean, he does what he does in order to get attentions, in order to get views and what have you. Okay,
Right.
and if you listen to his content, okay, it's
Which I really don't.
okay. On a couple of strings, he's literally spazzing out, literally.
Mm.
So when you have a situation when you're doing a stream and you're literally spazzing out, you have issues.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, to be constantly discussing the same thing, whether it be whether it be mulattoes, whether it be this date in history, this date in another history, and what have you. I mean, the problem is, um, so and like I said, I really don't want to give him more shine than what he really deserves. Um,
Well, which is none. So my thing is this, right? One thing that I'm saying because you and I were both on content creators and
yes.
whatnot. I could actually say that 2022 has been an eventful and stupid year.
Hmm.
So in my part, because I had to prove the obvious, and then people will still be how should I say disbelieving. So my thing is that I proved it. I'm I'm in my mind I'm good. I said what I had to say. I don't care what people have to say, and I've been dealing with this ever since I was a teenager. So my thing is this: I'm not gonna go and try to change. If I'm gonna try to change myself, I'm going to change myself for the better. And my thing is that if a person has the attention span and do childish things as telling the person who they are or who they're not, and they want to try to disprove a person, my thing is this: what are you gaining? And where's your evidence? I don't see anybody with solid evidence about what I am yet. So my thing is that even though I came into the content into making content and everything, I mean I'm trying to branch out to doing certain things more. So maybe within the next year I might just get some equipment, try to make my connections, and see like, okay, if I talk to artists, what is their price? Because right now everybody's trying to get to is trying to be promoted like in a good light. But since you have a lot of in these YouTube streets, I'm talking about people who are interviewing other artists and everything like that. And some of these content creators I have actually met in the Dominican parade. So they actually already have their tools and everything like that. As of me, I don't really have the proper tools yet. So I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I guess make those tools or make those interviews happen. And hopefully I might just get into thousand the 1,000 subscriber mark or the 50,000. I mean the sky's the limit at the end of the day. But then I was actually talking to a content creator on that he's actually a traveler, Mulano. So Mulano, I look at some of his content and I could actually say that he has some good content. So he might know about certain stuff that I might not know. I guess if he actually visited Europe or not. I'm gonna try to see if I could get him to come to this channel if I can. Yes.
Mhm. Good evening, Ramon.
Good evening,
Good,
Ramon.
good evening, guys. How you doing?
Yeah,
Uh,
we're good.
I'm doing all right. I'm going to be doing overtime tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Overtime at your actual work?
actually, I'm going to be dealing with the refugees. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have heard something about the whole thing about what is it? Article 42 or um the 42 provision, and I don't know how's that gonna work out because right now, because there is a stay in that by the court, so they can't send anybody away. But I don't know how long is that gonna last. So let's hope that it can stay long enough and enough people can be helped by it. Yeah, yeah. I heard something about that. Yeah, it's been.
And then one
Mhm,
thing to talk about, not to segue, but I've actually seen that
mhm,
um, certain people are I'm saying regarding to the Dominicans that now that to say that any Dominican who's actually coming through Guatemala, they're actually letting the Dominicans in. I guess the ones who are actually crossing the border.
mhm. Well,
But then
I
again, I
was
don't know how true it is.
well, I don't know. I was being asked something about that recently by my lady. Um, that they were letting some of them come through the border in Texas, but I haven't really heard anything about that. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna let them in, but they're gonna round them up and send them to Kamala Harris' house or something. But the thing is that the way that the border patrol works is that
Yeah,
you can be
it is.
caught like within a certain distance of the border, and they can just send you right back. They don't really have to process you or anything. Hmm.
Yeah, but the
So,
thing is though, which is funny, right? I've been
mhm,
hearing, and it's like, okay, um, regarding the immigrants or whatever, or the
mhm,
migrants, how you might say. I've been
yeah.
hearing like a lot of stories, even from a guy who's from the major section in the Dominican Republic, on how he actually came to the United States. He actually said that he rode through the United States to a motoconcho. So therefore, there's a lot of interviews with this guy. So he's just here in New York. Just well, he's in New York, so he's making like
Hmm.
music tracks. So I guess
Okay.
his story is being processed. I'm saying his story is being told throughout YouTube. So I guess he's gonna be, I guess, a local New York celebrity from, I guess, his story whatsoever. And I hope the best for him, to tell you the truth.
Okay. Okay. No, but it just for a moment I was like, okay, did you say that he got to the United States in a motoconcho? Because I know
Exactly.
what that is. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Ah, stop. That's
Yeah.
the okay. Okay. I mean, he got the motoconcho in Mexico or something and rode.
Yeah. I guess so. Because if you
Okay.
actually look at it, I listened to a little bit of the detail, and the thing is though that he flew to Guatemala with a
Hmm.
Dominican passport, since Guatemala and the Dominican Republic don't really have that visa thing, so you could actually go to certain nations with the Dominican passport.
Right.
So
Okay.
since he was going to the Dominican Republic with that passport or whatever to Guatemala, I guess he actually made his way to Mexico
Hmm.
and he crossed over the border with the Moto Concho.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Because
what
I mean, the Guatemala is just the country that is right south of the border with the southern Mexican border. So that you just that's just one border that you have to cross to go from Guatemala to Mexico. So, oh, okay, I see, I see. Wow, having to do all
yeah.
that. I can only imagine. I can only imagine, and I feel for them, and I feel more for the ones that have to do all that, have to do all that walking on foot, have to do all
Yeah.
that traveling on foot, and all. Yeah, yeah. If the issues that are causing those migrants to have to move and take those risks could get a,
Yes.
could get could get addressed, that will really
Yeah.
help. Because okay, um you can just call the migrants illegals. If certain folks in the United States, if that makes them feel better, they call it the illegals this, illegals that. Okay, but if the issues that are causing these people to have to take this risk could get addressed, that will reduce the number of people taking the risk. That would actually help because the issues are not being addressed. It's not being seen as to, okay, what's the problem? What is causing these people to be migrants and to take these risks?
I mean,
That's
if you
that's
actually look at it, right?
I know it's complex, but that will be the question that I could ask.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that it's complex. It's just so to the point that a lot of let's put it like this. And my father actually said something which is best when it pertains to certain Latin American leaders. If you
Yeah.
actually look at the grand scope of it, if you actually look at the grand scope of it and everything like that, if Latin America was not to be dependent on Europe or anybody like that, for that matter,
Hmm.
the United States would not really like it. But at the same time, they're not going to do anything they because a lot of people are not actually hip to game. And then when a lot of people who are not hip to game, and then you have series of indoctrination and certain people who might know about policies or whatever, but yet you want to keep the public misinformed, you're gonna get all these problems. And then on top of it, corruption is actually big and rampant to the point that you have certain people who are actually educated and who are educated. It was like, hey, we'd like to keep the rest of our society dumb, so therefore we could be rich, and that's how it's going on. So we have a guest right here. Yeah. Good evening, Zacharias.
Hey, Zacharias. Yeah. We can't hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
another
guess he
thing,
should.
Armando, you're breaking up a lot. I mean, there is a lot of static. And, I mean, we can hear you,
Yeah.
yes, but it's breaking up a lot. Just wanted to let you know. Yeah, but
All
Zachariah,
right.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. Yeah. I guess that's some. I guess that's something. So I'm trying to fix that.
All right.
And this is my thing. What is your thoughts on the recent arrest of Andrew Tate?
I just heard about it. I just read a little something about that, and the thing is that there is being this allegation about him when it comes to the whole sex trafficking thing. But I don't know. This guy seems a bit. It seems like he's too smart to be doing sex trafficking. I mean, I don't know if it was a situation where some underage girl lied about her age, and then he traveled from one country to the other, and now he's being accused of sex trafficking or something. Well, I need to know what the facts are, what actually happened, because this could easily be some smear campaign or some frivolous accusation, something that doesn't have any basis for. I don't know. This guy, he doesn't look like the type of guy that will do something that stupid. I mean, that he will actually be trafficking women for some kind of prostitution type of thing. I mean, because
All
that's
right,
what it refers to
but
when it comes to human trafficking. That's usually referring to in his case, most likely they're gonna try to make it about him traveling with women, with different women. So they're trying to make it seem that he was trying to prostitute them in different places.
yeah, but
So I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
this
I
is
don't
my
think
thing
that's
though,
what it
right?
is. Mhm.
But this is my thing though, and I'm not, and like I said, I don't know anything about that guy. But this is
Yeah.
my thing. I mean, Dave. I mean, is this has been an accusation on him and his brother before, so I can't
Yeah.
really rule it out or anything like that because if you even actually look at Wikipedia when you talk about Andrew Tate, he actually had the same accusation in the same place, Romania, where I guess that he and his brother has their
Hmm.
residence.
Okay.
So my thing is this: either they've been trying to get him on this if he is doing that, we're just saying because he's just being accused
Hmm.
because a woman have said, oh yeah, he's this and that, or
Hmm.
this might have been a past charge that they're trying to get him on. So my thing is that I do not know what Romania um politics is or the justice system. I don't know why
Right.
if a person
Y- y-
who live between the United who knows pretty more or less between the United
mhm.
States and Britain and have double citizenship. Why
Citizenship.
would
Yeah.
exactly why would I go to Romania? I don't know. I don't know about the investments or anything like that. I knew a Romanian that could actually tell me about the laws or whatever, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I if I was a rich person, I would not go and settle in a country that don't speak English.
Ah.
That's just me. Like,
Hey,
No, but well, I mean, many people there speak English. I work with a few of them. I mean, and some of them are real polyglots. One of the engineers that I work with, that's Romanian. He speaks like five different languages. So I mean, of
yeah,
course, English being one of them. So over there, I'm sure they speak different things, and um, they have their language has a French background, and many of them do speak English. And so I don't think language is really the issue, but maybe it's just that it is easier because it's kind of like a bit of a more Eastern European, more of an Eastern European type of country. This is a country that neighbors the Ukraine. Actually, I mean they are on the other side of the sea. They're divided by a body of water. So I mean they are. kind of like in the same region.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm Latin too.
Yeah,
yeah, they speak. Romania used to be part of the Soviet bloc when back in the Cold War. But yeah, their language is Latin based. It
yeah,
descends
yeah,
from the old Latin.
yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's one of the romance languages my mother always used to tell me.
Hmm.
So even
Mm-hmm.
if even if you actually hear a person speak Romanian, you can see the similarities between Romanian, Italian, and Spanish. Even
Yeah,
Yeah.
fact.
though that I even though I can't really tell you, okay, I know Italian, but when I started actually learning and speaking Spanish a little bit more, I could actually understand certain things in Italian and Portuguese and in Romanian too.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, how you doing? I didn't mean to, my mic was off. I was yeah, when I came on stage. So how y'all doing tonight? Um,
Yeah, we're doing
so
tonight. How's your holidays, by the way, Zacharias?
it's all right, and it's not too good in a way. I tell you in the future, it's not on YouTube, man. It's in my personal life.
Got you.
So yeah,
Got you.
yeah. I just go ahead and say it. I just learned. I haven't talked to my brother. I go ahead and say it. My brother, I just talked to him this morning because I think you probably heard me on when I was on Black Skin Mason's channel. I mentioned my paternal grandmother, the one that I had problems with. She died on 23rd, and then that's my dad's mother. Then my
Right.
mother, I ain't not know. Me and we ain't seen each other because she used to do bad things to me. Well, my brother told me that our mother passed away in February. So of course I'm coping with this. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I'm dealing with. But yeah, my paternal grandma, the one that raised me, the one that I had issues with. I don't want to talk too negative about it, but things I say about it in the past was true. Ain't no lie, I don't make lies up. But she passed away on the 23rd before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we can hear.
Yeah,
We
I'm here.
can hear. Hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
hear you.
Yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with. But also I'm also dealing with some issues with the apartment people. In the program that I'm in. So I ain't gonna into that. I'm fighting them again. So yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now, and I'm trying to get you already know I got a business already, so I'm trying to get some other business started so I can make some extra money in 2023. And I develop a wealth mindset, been manifesting, praying, doing the hypnosis. No, not going to hypnosis, but they have a little hypnosis, and you meditate and pray and trying to have a wealth mindset. So 2023, I'm wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts from mindset.
Yeah,
Right.
that's important
So
that you start with that from the inside out. Like to make it happen. I mean, you have to start with having the right energy and the right mindset. If you don't have that, you could try it and try it, and it's not gonna happen because it's not. One has to start with the mindset of it and go from there.
Yeah, hello. When I got evicted 3 years ago, and I lost my apartment. I was reading law of attraction books. That's what kept me strong. Law of attraction books, and like I said, not to bring I want to bring it back like Tim. I mentioned that I was doing podcasts outside of Starbucks and go to FedEx or go. People shout like, "Why this homeless man is at Starbucks or FedEx or Kroger's?" Even though Kroger's like as I Albertsons, and on on his computer. Yeah, I'm making my own business, have my products, trying to make my content so I can make it because I'm not gonna beg nobody for the street. And people came to me with money when I was on the street. I didn't beg nobody for the money. um, I used a law of attraction, prayer, and God was sending people to just give me money like I was a collection plate. I didn't ask nobody for no money because I know coming from middle class background, you don't ask nobody random people for no money. So when I was in Houston, it's so shiesty. You know what I'm saying? No, no, I'll be honest with you. When the hurricane happened to 2017, no, and I mean be evil. Part of me didn't feel sorry for some of the people. Some of the people have like I think New York and Philly have had new in the South. The smile on your face moment come in, and you will see the nastiness people do you dirty on a job. For myself, trash a resume, try to demote you, try to get you fired for something you not do. Yeah, that's how dirty down here in the South. So this when they lost the
I could
house,
actually believe it.
yeah. When they them folks down lost their house in 2017, and I was in my apartment. People say on social media, "Why you?" I said, "I'm not laughing at people that know, but I don't feel sorry because you know the dirty things some of these people do." And shockingly, the people you had poor people in Bayou and Ghetto, their house got messed up. We was good in the hood in Third Ward, but when it came to like Spring, well, not Spring Ridge, Bayou, when it came to Memorial City, the wealthy and they are racist in the case of the working Memorial City Mall. Woo! They house got tore up. Maryland Platinum, nice house, bro. Everybody said, I mean, when we Republicans, the people saying about Trump and everything, yeah. And when Jan Jackson came to perform, she went to the George R. Brown Convention Center,
Mhm.
and in the comments on Facebook, the I'm not trying to bring bash Hispanic for white and some Hispanic folks here. Didn't see too many ADOS accuracy people going after her, but they were bashing her. And she came to give love to the folks who suffered from the hurricane. Jan
Yeah,
Jackson.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember. I remember. I
yeah,
was there. She performed just a few days after the floodings. As soon as things cleared out, she performed. Yeah, I
yeah. But
remember.
she came to Georgia Convention, and on you see on Channel 26 the comments and people I shared it. People said, "Look at all these horrible comments." I said, "This is Houston, Texas, racist down here." Like they going after her, and she came to perform, give love.
Yeah,
Normally a celebrity, Beyonce came to Third World. I was in my apartment. I and I know people say you miss Beyonce, but when Jan Jackson came, she came to the people who were suffering, people, not just the people who lost their home and living in Georgia. It was the homeless people there, the people in the comment section. Like the hurricane did not get no redemption. They was in the saying a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook in the conversation on live. I said, y'all, this is why I say I feel sorry for some of the people that are hurt. You know, hurricane. This is we gotta deal with down here in Houston, Texas.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, your shoes. So evil people got holes and now they stuck up in the head. You think New Yorkers? At least New Yorkers, and I ain't being New York, but I can tell from discernment, y'all up front with your shit. But here is Southern mentality, smile on your face. Once you get that know that monster, okay, they revealing who they really are. And you thought that person was cool. Nope. And it happens on the jobs because see, people call me a bum. No, I'm gonna be political with this. This apartment and real estate, they can fight for anything. You can do everything right. They don't like you. They try to get you. Say we already done with your employment. That's how dirty Texas is. So when the houses got knocked down and they had a hurricane, no, people instant, yes, my heart go out. But the ones with nasty attitudes, even laugh. I was going through mention my grandmother, she's passed, when I was going through the problem with her trying to get my good high paying job to move out of her house, and my grandfather laughing in my face. When I saw that so many people's house, I said, nah, I said, no, God's a much for God. Don't get wrong, I wish evil in God's name is this blessing. But part of me, as a human, it feels sorry. I said, y'all, when people try to get their house, trying to get a house call and everything, say be financially established, folks throwing applications, being racist, that too. Their house got messed up, okay. And like I said, it hit the wealthy area. It hit some of the ghetto and bio area, but it hit the nice house in Memorial City. Them wealthy folks, them folks. And then one white girl, she worked at the Blood Pass, and one of her parents are German immigrant, but she Americanized, right? And I remember she laughed at things I was having a job, like, yeah, you laugh when you lose one position, a job, whatever, like, yeah, because of race stuff. So when her hurricane with blood plasma place, she said, yeah, I couldn't get in FEMA, and I'm like, I had FEMA for folks who don't got no income. You so all that wealthy in Katy, Texas, it's claimed educated in that wealthy area, you couldn't get no flood insurance. All that money her white family had. I said, I'm my head thinking. I said, see, you led to my situation. I'm my head saying this. I want to bring it up while she checking my vitals and everything. I said, yeah. I said, that's what happened. Now her house got messed up. Hurricane Harville butterfly because didn't care. And we can't get flood insurance. We can't get FEMA, but they had all that dang on money. They had all that nice money. I like, come on. FEMA for those who can't have no money, who are low income. Am I right? They trying to get FEMA, but they wealthy. And that's y'all heard me?
Well, yeah. It's just sometimes for some people that whole thing is a hustle. I mean, yeah. I don't know who is that gonna be benefiting. I can understand that in concept having insurance for things, but so many people that have insurance, and when the disaster hits, the
All right.
insurers, like insurance companies, don't want to pay for shit. I hear a lot of
All
stories
right.
of people getting screwed over. Yeah.
Okay. I got a question. I got a question for you two guys since y'all live in the Texas area.
Yeah.
I went up and I actually seen a video on Facebook one day, and it was like people who actually know how to build houses and everything.
Hmm.
So there was a guy that was actually rolling through, and the person thought that there was actually building that there was actually having like a nice established house. But then when they actually looked at it, it was just made out of all wood. It had no metal bearings or anything like that. And they're selling these wooden houses and with all the fine increments, and people would actually think that okay, that there's a sturdy house or a sturdy foundation. When the fact is, the
Hmm.
foundation is wood, and like say if a hurricane or tornado were to come, it would actually stand. It would actually be flimsy
Most
if those
likely, most likely, because we have been. Oh, my bad.
So my thing is that how often are those housing scams are profitable in this down south area? Because I know that in New York it's not going to apply, whatever. But
Uh,
how common is it down south? That's what I want to know.
it's my
Mm,
first time hearing that, but I'm not shocked. Hold on, just a moment.
okay, real quick. I mean, me living in the Texas area, I'm not really seeing anything about that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at all. It might happen in certain places, and some people could be scammed if they are not doing their due diligence when it comes to getting informed as to what they're getting into when it comes to getting into some kind of property, uh, trying to invest because there are people that might have some extra money and they're trying to invest in rental properties and things like that, and they could come across to houses that are not in the best condition. But the thing is that when buying properties or getting something to rent out, there are certain inspections, and there are the properties are supposed to meet certain requirements, be up to code. Um, so you can't just get a house that is just gonna have a bad foundation, or things are just about to fall apart, coming apart because they're so old, or they need to be redone. Right? Many houses that are made of wood and things like that, they get remade all the time. They get reconstructed, they get renovated, and whatever it is that it needs to be done to the foundation. It can get um, fixed because that's kind of the flexibility of it. That's something that I'm not used to, and I like houses like that that can be flimsy as you will call them, because those houses, if they were to be hit by a tornado, they will just get wiped clean. I mean, kind of like what happened with the hurricane with Katrina hit New Orleans. There were many smaller houses that were all made of wood, that were made of relatively flexible materials or light materials, and some of those houses, the only part of the house that was left after the hurricane hit was the stoop, because the stoop was made of concrete. That's the only that will be the only part that will survive. And it happened all along the Mississippi coast. There were so many houses. I remember seeing pictures, aerial pictures, or so many houses that were left made rubble, and they may have been up to code, and they may have been legal, and they may have been properties that were properly built, maybe by the code of the time, but when Katrina hit that area, so many houses ended up being rubble because they were made of wood, and that wood could withstand the damn Katrina. It could withstand it. So ended a lot of houses. I saw even some of the buildings that were built in uh, made of bricks. Some of those crumble. Some of those smaller buildings that were made up out of bricks, many of those crumble because the bricks will be, as you know, that are placed one on top of the other with some mortar in between. But it's not enough. It's not enough. They're just stacked one on top of the other, but they're not enough to withstand a hurricane. So many of those older, smaller buildings that I saw in Mississippi were halfway crumbled because of the because of Katrina. And these were bricks. They were made of kind of like the old school red bricks. So
All right, so
I just don't. If there was a scam that you were talking about, it's not impossible, but I'm not aware of it.
Can I say? Can I say this about the reason why those houses in Louisiana are built like that is because it's of a swamp. Remember,
Mhm.
New Orleans in South Louisiana is over a swamp. It's built over a swamp.
Yeah,
and I
So
believe and I
yeah,
believe
that is that. That is that.
and I
and that's why they have
and I believe
they have grave
and
sites.
I,
They don't dig them. They put them over the. They have a tomb, not tomb. So you call it cement. They make the coffin over cement because they don't want the bodies being eaten by the alligators and crocodiles. Because but the Katrina was a setup. Because there's people from New Orleans who told me straight up, them folks broke the foundation and it hit the night. It hit the. You can go to French Quarter with most of the white people or white passing because we have Creoles that pass over there, folks. It went to the more melanated people area. You know what I'm saying? People that look, including because we got Creoles that look like you too. Talking about you, Jose, and right on what I'm on. We got Creoles that look like you too. Of course, we got Creoles like me and Armando. Okay, and those who are darker like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's a Creole too. Um, yeah, they went to that neighborhood, and when it came to people more melanated, and it was Governor Blanco. She's a white Spaniard, Creole, Louisiana her, and Mayor Nagin. He locked up. The Mayor Nagin locked up. It went that they broke the foundation, and that's when all the water. They was set. They said when FEMA folks, they said folks used some racial slurs. I mean, I think Spike Lee did a documentary, but people it was a Creole brother that like a Hispanic, like typical Hispanic dude, but he a Creole African American descent brother. He told me in Starbucks and Target on Southwest Side back in 2007. He said, oh hell yeah. He said, Mayor Nagin's a crook. You know what I'm saying? He said they messed up and Mayor Governor Blanco, and they was telling me everything. See, the people, and we had two girls at Job Corps in El Paso. We had two girls, trying to holler at one of them. We had two girls, they from New Orleans, a Job Corps. They came to our Job Corps stay. I think, Mondo, you remember the Mexican dude had got one girl pregnant?
yeah,
One of them sisters, she black Italian, she by you and I complexion with a perm, black Italian, and she was Creole. She got pregnant. She got pregnant by one of the misses. Went to the ugly Betty, the black skin chick I couldn't stand. Her ex boyfriend. They told this story. Okay, her ex boyfriend that got that sister pregnant. That was one New Orleans girl, and the other one did the dark skinned brother wrong. I was trying to holler at the, I could play with curly hair. That was her. She quit. I can't stand because she did my homeboy wrong. Them two girls came from Job Code. They was telling me their stories. How and FEMA was taking forever to get their money and stuff. And when people was at the Texan, not the Texan game, we call it the UTEP Miners versus University of Houston Cougars, a game in El Paso, Texas. We was there, dark skinned Buffalo military. You give money to Katrina, and when the sister say, "Excuse me, give us money." We from Katrina. Okay, we from New Orleans. They didn't give us no money, so they messed them folks up down in New Orleans. People, so that's another side y'all did not know. People was telling us. Then we had. I was in El Paso. My cousin was telling me and my grandma, that there was fights between people acting and seeing it from New Orleans and folks from here in Houston. I said, what? That was going on, but the people was telling us in New Orleans, the governor, Kanye said that George Bush don't care about black people. He wasn't lying when he said that because it was they know because they had hurricanes before New Orleans. Okay, Katrina was worse because they did break the foundation and let the water go to the night war and everything. Yep, that was all made by design. Oh, I wanted to also address. I want to take forever. You asked a question about the foundation being made by wood. That's another setup. You know who's doing it, right? I'm gonna bring a racer here. You know who's doing it, right? Mondo.
Nah, I
Hello.
don't know who's doing it. Who is?
You saw that video on TikTok where that CM Burgon was talking about that white man that owned a construction and wasn't paying on Latino immigrants, but treating them like the N word down there. That's there's some folks that's on those construction, become them racist white ones that they use Latino immigrants to build those houses, and they get the blame for that mess, and they don't pay them. They treat them like the N word. I don't use the N word here. You know, how I use it. They treat them like slaves on plantation. That's why them house like that. Cause you know
I mean,
American,
yeah.
yeah, they get Latino. They whining about Latino immigrants with Greg Abbott. You know he married to Latina. Okay, yes, Greg Abbott wife is Mexican American. They whine about them, but they okay using them. And they say that us ADOS people are lazy. No, we not. Okay, I know some ADOS people who are, but this ADOS will drop and span Bruce Louisiana ain't no lazy. I know my rights all over the country. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let nobody treat like a slave on plantation. I'm going to work for myself. But they getting cheap labor or no labor, slave work to those immigrants that come here with no paperwork, and they making them do them houses. And so something happened that instead of blaming the white owner, slave owner companies, construction companies, they gonna blame them for that. And they get the Hispanic ones to do it too. The Hispanic folks that own the construction who also discriminate against Africans and against Hispanic, they use them too. Use their own people who are Latino immigrant to make them white folks houses and they get blamed for it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People don't know that.
Yeah.
Because you know the American
I
folks
mean,
ain't I know, we got American
I
people
mean,
that's
at the end of the
crazy. But,
day, right?
hmm?
I mean, if you actually look at it, right, you have certain people who, I guess they'll try to use it for, they'll try to use, make the Latino community look bad or whatever the case may be. But the thing is that if you actually look at it, right, you have certain people who are just, turncoats. I don't want to send say any names because we already know who the turncoats are. I actually went up and
Hmm.
face curse out one of the turncoats this year. So my thing is this: if we have Latino and black turncoats, right, that will try to exploit all our communities, just so therefore they could get like crumbs. of the table of the elite. What we as a people, what can we do to go and fight against these turncoats or the guys that will try to use us as fodder. So therefore, they sell us like a sweet dream. While the fact is, they going around and they bilking people a lot of money, saying that they're going to make. By the way, shout out to Futures Golden, A to you too. But or trying to sell all of us the dream of whatever the case may be, but yet they're bilking a lot of people out of their money. So what can we have as a viable solution to stop these charlatans? Anybody?
Suppose some people need to be educated. People need to stop falling for the thing. Because I'm gonna say this: people of color, both people African descended. You know, I say that word because we're not pure black. African descended, we identify pure black, a mix, okay, and Latinos who are already mixed need to be financially educated. That's what I do. I just bought some books on Kindle that's cheap about how to be financially educated. I mean, we can make excuses, but they can buy rims and get hair done and beer for New Year's and everything, and go to the club and everything. Nice outfits. They can buy books. Well, you know, FedEx owned by a white supremacist. I forgot the dude named Fred Smith. Yeah, Fred Smith. He a white supremacist. But and you go to his store, FedEx store, you see books about how to make your own money, make your own business. People not checking. Like I'm trying to change. Like I don't just don't get on YouTube for the entertainment or what's drama going on with YouTube streets, whatever. I do what I can to listen to YouTube audio books. We got audio books on YouTube. People upload. Hold on again, control no copyright infringement, but we do need them books. They free. And you teach you. Even I was homeless, I would listen to some books on my phone or computer about how to be financially educated or spiritually, mentally, financially wealthy. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to do instead of fighting each other for small. I'm not doing a cop picking, trying to pick me. I ain't fighting for the little small checks. I want that wealth. You know what I'm saying? I want that Bill Gates. You know, I want his Satanism, no, God forbid that. But I want that wealth, the Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos wealth. So when I get, because I ain't married, ain't got no kids, I want my kids no welfare, no food stamps, no Section 8, none of that mess. I want my children, before I die, have wealth, be old money when I die. You know, I'm new money, they old money, my grandchildren of old money. No one's not thinking like that. They think like poor money and working at McDonald's, Mickey D's, and fight over small check when they need to fight over having the leak. Because the reason why that we don't have that power, the Rockefellers made sure, like they did abortion, made sure that we had a bad education system. It was mostly white then, you know what I'm saying? And then it fled to our minority community we integrated. So we're taught to be workers, not entrepreneurs, not to have our own business. That's why they don't want us to. If we was financially educated, you wouldn't have to hear about a fight about who taking my job. You know what I'm saying? You hear, you know what I'm saying? Maybe who taking my land, who taking, you land your own real estate, who trying to rob my money. Okay, that is the most but all who taking low paying positions and stuff. But they're not doing that. They want us to be uneducated, have no education in finance. They want us to only worry about getting a job and working for them. And then when we get a job, get treated like crap and taking it. And I say, as a bipolar, which is a blessing, hell no. Okay? So that's why we got that problem. You see what I'm saying? And we need to teach the immigrants, if they want the American dream, be educated by these people. Don't just open to anybody. I want to work for somebody not knowing they're gonna make you do some sex trafficking. I'm gonna be real with this. They doing sex trafficking, human trafficking, or they ain't paying you if you're doing legal work. If you gonna work legally at McDonald's, they make you like a slave, give the owner of the human trafficking the money. That's how they do it. See, them folks do not know. And when we have these black identified versus Hispanic racism, I need to tell my Hispanic brothers, you need to check this out instead of beefing with African people about who taking a job, because the white people choosing those immigrants who are not educated. They're doing the African immigrants too. Anybody who don't know what's going on in Houston, I mean in the United States, I'm just in Houston, United States period. they get exploited. If folks like certain people and say names care about their raza, right, and being Latino and Hispanic, they need to educate them immigrants. Not go to these companies, explore them, because that's who causing is maybe it's an African ones or Hispanic ones too that's doing this exploring, but it's mostly owned by white people. I ain't be anti-white, got cream carpet. It's mostly owned by them, and they the main one vote Republican. I'm sorry, we got Republicans in here. The main vote Republican. I'm gonna build a wall. Blah blah blah. They ain't worried about a wall. They don't want Latinos to share the same Africans people share the same American dream as they do. That's what they talking about. They they defend the ghetto. The ghetto mess, like I told Black Skin Mason on the other channel and Kevin, I mean their name. The ghetto messed up because doing so as the integration was legalized and people forgot about voting locally. They too busy voting presidential. The Republican white folks start racism, start voting against anything that went to the hood of bio ghetto. So the ghetto hood came in, it became drug fested, crime fested, poverty below poverty level. They voted against those anything any bills to stop that because the people in the ghetto in the barrio ain't voting. I live in a barrio ghetto right now. I go to the neighborhood to go vote. It's fairly few people voting. When I was in third ward in the hood, that's why she Jackson Lee is still a congresswoman. It's any people voting for her. They shot to see a young person out before I got evicted. They shot to see me voted. I'm like, but you see hood boogers and hood rats on the corner selling crack. I'm gonna say it like it is, smoking it, whatever, selling some drugs. They not thinking about no voting. They conditioned to their problem. That's why that's go on. So that's people understand. We still educate our minorities. There's no excuse now. If we can go on YouTube and argue and fight and talk about this, that, and all the other stuff, we can go on YouTube and find and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, learn about how to be financially educated. It should be our New Year resolution. We know the inflation coming up. Let's start reading them books. Let's listen to Gary Vee, a white Jewish man, people to talk bad about Jews. This Jewish white man, the Russian Jew, is telling you all how to make your own business. He cussed everything. He sound good on his own self, but he giving us tea to how to make it on our own, so we don't have to worry about working for these folks because they don't give people our job anyway. You can put everybody robots. People be robots. You go to Walmart and be robots, be your cashier. McDonald's, everything robot. Robot don't argue. Or robot don't say I ain't gonna do it no more. Robot continue to let the machine go down. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we need to get financial education and stop being ignorant and stop whining about who doing this. Don't fight against discrimination. That's right. We need to fight against discrimination on the job. But I'm not arguing about a low paying position because we argue about that. You're going to be poor for the rest of your life. You working for that person, going up in the morning, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, being on time, deal with all the trauma they could provide it instead of coming out of the situation. And then you're not wealthy. And then you don't got no will, don't got no life insurance, all that.
Hello, guys.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you? This is Armando's wife.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Hello, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing
I'm
okay.
great.
Having here, having a chat. I mean, uh, of course. I mean, if that is something that you wanted to chime in, we're all ears.
Um, she, just came to see.
Yeah, I just came to say hi to you guys. Because I'm pretty busy doing things now. But I just wanted to stop by and say hi.
Ah, oh,
You,
yes. Hello. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. I
yes,
mean, I don't think I ever had a chance to talk with you, man. So it's nice to talk to you.
yes. How you been on? You was resembling one of my homegirls, mama. She one of a high Creole sisters in our neighborhood. I used to go to her church. I want to say her name. But your wife do resemble her and her daughter. Sadly, her daughter passed away back in 2008. But when I saw your wife picture, Armando, she resembled them. Yep. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say that last, the Williams family. That's the last thing we ain't gonna say their first names, but your wife remember one of my the Williams family. Actually, the mama's brother is married to one of my cousins. Yep. Well, my cousin, along down on my mom, on grandma's side of the family, on my daddy's side. Well, if anyone knows who I am, yeah, her mama resemble your wife and her daughter because they resemble each other. One of Williams, because they came in different skin tones. Because they had those with dark skin with curly hair and those with bright skin. You know, they dad was dark skin and mom was bright with green eyes. They were both Creole. And they used to be at the church, the Catholic church I joined back in 1993. And my grandfather and they daddy was friends. You know, my daddy and my aunt and my uncle was friends with both the family. And on my daddy's side, one of my long distance cousins married my homegirl's mom's brother. So they been knowing. So yeah, that's how. So when I saw your wife picture, I said she looked like one of the so and so the Williams family that lives in our neighborhood in Eastside Harris County. You know, they're joining church with. I said it resembled. Yeah, she can pass for a higher black Creole woman. I know she can. She can.
Yeah. It's just when it comes to the mixture, it's not the same, but also it's not that different either. So that's why there could be a resemblance.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, she passed away. Talking about my uncle, because her older brother used to be cool. We didn't get along, but Trishelle, I'm gonna say her name Trishelle. I'm gonna say her mama name, but Trishelle, she resembled Trishelle, and Trishelle's mother resembled her because both all three of the other siblings that still live, and they bought me and Mondo's complexion and different hair texture, curly hair. And the only bright one was the one that passed back in 2008, and she was young. She born in 1986. Yeah, because she was 2 years older than my cousin. But they mama resembled them, and yes, resemble both. Yeah, they both resemble. If his wife was hanging around them, I would assume that she was the Williams family. I'm not gonna lie, because she looked like the Williams family. I'm not lying. I said, what? When I saw was a picture of Monica, I said, she like one of the Williams family down the street.
All right.
Yep. Trishelle and them. Yeah, I'm gonna say her name because she don't know him no more. But that was Trishelle and her mom. She's like one of the family members. Yep. So it's been yeah. So I said, yeah. When I saw my mom's wife, I said she looked just like one of the Williams family down the street. And actually showed did, because Trisha's older brother, that's one I didn't get along with. He became a thug later on to all his business. She one time they took me to the mass one time at another church back in 1990. I don't forget. Because I went, so did back in 1990, took me to mass one time at another church that we belong to, and then next thing I went to Bible school with them back in 1990. Yep. Dang, 30 years ago. Dang, that's so long ago. We had the sisters from the hood, from the Fifth Ward. They came over to our church for Bible school in 1992. That was some good old days. I missed them days. I showed. Dude, we had a good time. We sang Father Abraham. I'm sorry.
Okay. You're about to sing to sing some church songs.
No, we had a good time at Bible, and then this next year I joined a church. I became Catholic in 1993, but 1992 we had a good time. Father Abraham had many sons. Sister Bishop, she from New Orleans. Yeah, she sure was. She my Mercy Church, and she came to our church for Bible school, and we had a good time. We showed that we had an African priest from Nigeria. I don't forget them doggone days. We went to the zoo. We went to one of the Catholic churches, Annunciation back in 1992. We had a good time. We showed I remember them doggone days. I'm sorry. And Trishelle was, and I brought my cousin with me. and Shashelle was in love with my cousin, and she would chase my cousin around, and Trishelle gave him a kiss, and we all laughed.
Oh, okay. All right.
And my cousin was mad. He was mad. I don't forget them doggone days. Man, that was
Yeah,
some good.
I'm sure. Let's give a welcome to Giorgio. What's going on,
I do
man?
apologize.
Hmm.
How
Oh,
you
hey,
doing?
hey guys, nothing much. But oh yeah, Zacharias. Like, I'm glad that you brought up the points earlier though, because it's also the same thing that I've been saying as far as everybody needing to learn economic and financial literacy, because that's
Yeah.
horribly lacking nowadays. See, that's why I actually read a book about it though, and it also talks about how to actually, profit off of interest. So if you can actually look into profiting from things like compound interest and you know how to do it, you can actually create generational wealth. If you teach that to your kids, just those important basics, everybody's going to be fine. But probably where you are, that's just not really being taught much. Or even online, though, since people would rather, relish in all the drama and everything, when we could
It's
all
all right.
be learning financial literacy. Like I said, compound interest, man, is the way to start. If you can do that, you're ahead of the curve.
All right.
Yep.
And then
And
also, second point though, I guess for the whole comparison, and I guess like you said, like the churches and everything down there. Well, my family is mainly Catholic because of the fact that I also come from that Louisiana Creole line, and that's what they
Mhm.
typically were Catholic. But admittedly, I'm more of a Protestant because Catholicism isn't really what I believe in. But still much love and respect to my people. But I've definitely had a good fair share of good preachers growing up in California, and California has a lot of Creoles.
I
Because
know.
of the fact, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm California born and raised, but a
Mm-hmm.
handful of Creoles from like Texas and especially Louisiana and Mississippi, like my mom, we all ended up migrating to either LA or the Bay Area.
Yes, because they want to
Okay.
get away from the South. Yeah. Did you
Yes.
go to LA?
I went to the Bay Area. I was born and raised in Berkeley, just right across from San Francisco.
Did you?
Mhm.
When you was in LA? Did you go to St. Bridget's?
I didn't.
Okay, because the priest that was there, that was the priest that left our church before I became Catholic, the Creole priest. He came back to Houston. He went to for Saint Peter Claver, but when he left our church before I joined, we had Italian American priest. I couldn't stand him. But we had a Creole priest before him. He had the gospel music, the African kente. He was very father in there. That was saying father in there. Father had the African kente cloth at the altar, the black. Oh, he had all that. He looked black. Of course he was African and Saint Creole, but he ain't look black. But he put some black in it. He had a gospel choir. I don't forget them doggone days on mass at 8, actually 10:30 mass. He can't take cloth and everything. Yes, he did. So when he left, he went to St. Bridget's in Los
Okay.
Angeles. Yeah, and then he came back to Houston and he went to with City Gas. And if you ever been to Houston, City Gas on North West Side, St. Peter Claver. He was St. Peter Claver Church. He not there now. I think he deceased, so he's still he probably sick. But yeah, Father that was a good priest. He had he preach like he was preach that preach. Yeah, he kept it live in mass. I'm forgetting that. I hate the fact that when I joined the church I joined in, he left when he had this Italian American priest who was like a racist and colorist. I'm not lying. People talk about a lot of folks left the church right after I came in. People didn't like Father Saporito. They showed his name. I couldn't stand him. I was an altar boy and I like his attitude and I didn't want to act a fool in God's house. And the last time I did do altar boy, he had a nasty attitude back in 1994, and I was about to get ugly by one of my grandma prize. I want my grandma and I have an issue with that. And my grandfather, because I was about to go ugly, I ain't gonna care about him being a priest, so I stopped going. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because he had nasty. A lot of folks that lied, but some became prize. Some went to other Catholic church, especially black Catholic churches in Houston, Texas. They went to other church that was integrated. I don't forget them doggone day, but yeah, Father Arnett went to St. Bridget's in 1990. He came back in 2000. He came back in 99 to
Nice.
99, 98 to Saint Peter Claver on City Gas and by Lake. Now with
Well,
Lakewood
like
Speed. Yeah,
my mom was going to that Catholic school back in the '60s, and that was in Natchez, Mississippi, just right across the river
yeah, I
from
know that
Vidalia,
Mississippi.
Louisiana. Yep, that's yeah,
Yeah,
that's where my mom is born and raised, and she actually went to that Catholic school there. It's still there. Oh, sorry.
what the
Hey,
hell?
Jose. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
Jose's.
don't know what happened there. There's something
Yeah,
that got made a noise. I mean, I think it was accidental. But yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know about that type of migration to the west coast from Louisiana. That's something that I'm not that familiar with. I didn't know. I
yes, the
I
So
know.
Great
basically, my
Migration.
people did that in order to escape from the racial and economic disenfranchisement during that time. But then a lot of
Yes,
us ended up establishing our own communities and, spreading the Creole culture to either the Bay Area or the Los Angeles. A lot of us are still here too.
Oh, okay.
some of us got married Hispanic people like Sheila E. Sheila E. Part Mexican, part Creole.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
You
I
okay.
know
can
Yeah,
Sheila,
yeah.
speak French
The
Creole too.
musician.
Well, some of it too.
Mhm.
So I still try to keep
huh?
on to my cultural roots, although I'm not Catholic really, even though I'm more Protestant.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I'm the
But
opposite. I'm more Catholic. I'm not Protestant. No offense. I don't like.
that
I don't like consumer Protestants. No offense.
no, it's all good, brother. It's about Jesus at the end of the
I'm
day.
I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas, and yeah, yeah. I don't like conservative Protestants. Not people, but I'm talking about the religion. The one thing that me and my grandma did not. She had a problem becoming Catholic, but I did not like that strict, rigid
Mhm.
stuff. I ain't talking about the liberal Protestant like Methodist and mainline. Y'all, those folks are cool, okay? Because I go to the food bank for those, say they cool people. But no, the strict Baptist. No offense to anybody, I do not like that strict, rigid stuff. Fire, brimstone. No, don't get me wrong. It is a hell, but all that misinterpreting to do scare people. You need to find all the hypocrisy behind it. No, I'm not with that. And Texas has a lot of that. The same people too who claim to be Christian, they the most racist people
But
in whoo,
dude, man, you're just
No,
thinking
but
about
but that's
exactly what I was about to say. Is that
no, but
actually you
that's
even
a
have a yeah, introverted Boricua. It's just you actually have a lot of the Protestant preachers and pastors who definitely harbor a lot of racist sentiments. Even some, and even in behind closed doors, and even some that I've
mm-hmm.
caught saying stuff like how they should ban interracial couples from coming into the congregation. I've heard stuff like that before. I've seen it too.
That's in a black identified Protestant ring too. I'm not lying.
Yes. Oh,
because
absolutely.
because us Catholic African American descendant people, we got those who still use the one drop rule, but a lot of us embrace. Because weird, when I became Catholic, I started embracing my multiracial roots. Yeah, but when you're in the Protestant sector of this country, the conservative Protestant, a lot of them defend the one drop rule. A lot of them believe in segregation. They have Farrakhan come to their doggone church. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Don't get wrong. You got some African American Catholic ones like in Chicago. They friends with Farrakhan over there. Like Shaka Khan, she Creole. Shaka Khan Creole and Catholic too.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of Catholics, African American, Creole, and Catholic, and non-Creole African American folks in Chicago. Actually, speaking of mixed, a Haitian Creole biracial was the one that's the founder settlement of Chicago, the South. Well, a lot of folks see in these golden spheres. No offense to you, I'm going into history. Shout out to Abby. She be checking on their history. Chicago was not founded because Native Americans were already there, but the city established the founder of the establishment was a biracial, part Haitian, black Haitian Frenchman from Haiti, the Sabo. He came through New Orleans, almost became a slave, fought against slavery in New Orleans. They almost about to make him a slave, and then went up to Illinois, married Illinois Native American woman. He was also a Catholic as well, spoke French, Spanish, and English, and he established Chicago. But yeah, it was a lot of African American Catholic people in Chicago. In Detroit, like Aaliyah was a Catholic too. Mary R. Kelly. Okay, well, Foster Mary, I was telling she married, but yeah, she was Catholic too. But yeah, but they at what the church that Viacom visited is that white dude Plaker, who's an African church, the Father Plaker. He been in a lot of scandals his own damn self. He had Viacom come to his church, and one of them did a day for Shah Khan. I remember reading it back in the day. And I'm like, what is Viacom coming there? Because they say anti-Catholic stuff in there, Islam too. But in here in the South, when Viacom comes to here, he goes to most of the Protestant African city ones. And that's why he got so much black separation mess in there, because a lot of them are black separatist groups go to the Protestant churches that are very segregated. You know what I'm saying? They look at you weird. Even though Adolf's people don't all look alike, and it's racial biggest F because we mixed, none of us are pure black. However, they're the main ones that bring, but they put on, but it's funny, they'll downplay someone extra light skin, or they even go after someone lighter brown, like me in Armando's complexion, bash the dark one, go back and bash the high yellow one. You know what I'm saying? Like your complexion, you know, or if let's say Ramon was not Hispanic, but Adolf looked the way he looked, got brothers look like him, and they, you know what I'm saying? It's that same mess, and then it's they want to harp on the one drop rule, and then that's the main ones I know is talk bad about interracial marriages, but they showed love somebody with high yellow good hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like they're opposed to the unions that created me, but yet they would totally dig me and want to do all sorts of weird stuff behind closed doors, especially to women who are basically like me. I've seen it already. Of course.
That's why Jerry Meeks got that guy out of jail soon. It was mainly the same sisters that talk about someone too light and police brothers dating practices. They the one signed their petition to get Jerry Meeks and even I'm darker than Jerry Meeks. No, if Jerry Meeks was dark brown skin like West Knight, I still would be against that because he did do crime, and he not no person that was locked up, that was, you know, messed up by the law, like exonerated. No, he did do crime with his homeboy, and he should be locked up. He should not be modeling.
I grew up right near Jeremy, by the way, in California. He was only an hour away from me, by the way. He was in Stockton, California. I was in Berkeley. He was in my neck of the woods. I remember Jeremy. But yeah, small world.
He was thorough. He was out there. He was about that life, wasn't he?
He was. He definitely was, though. But however, though, I will have to say is that, you know, I think that he paid his debt, even though, yeah, he was a hardcore gangbanger. But if he atoned for all that stuff, and he's now is in a much better position, since I always try to focus on where you are today, since, you know, the Bible even says that you only have the good present moment, then I would not really like talk about how he, you know, like he shouldn't really be modeling per se because of like his past misdeeds. But since he's now like successful and like in a much better position, then I would just say like, yeah, let him continue with his modeling career.
No, but it was colorist and race based, and mostly them sisters. You know what I'm saying? That have that black, so-called black men. Color is no. Well, if the so-called black American, because none of us are pure black. Okay, I'm against calling us pure blacks. If you mix ancestry, you're mixed. I'm not with that. Who looks more in my DNA test and all the other mess? I'm against that. Okay, my thing is they chose to get that man out because his phenotype. It is weird when Tupac was locked up for that old fake sister playing the Carolyn Bryan, lying on him, saying that he raped her when she was lied on that man. Yes, you had Jasmine Guy. Yes, you had Jada Pinkett go visit. Who went to go visit him? Madonna, of all people. A white woman. Madonna. You know what I'm saying? And he broke up Madonna because that racial loyalty mess. You see what I'm saying? Even though his dad is a light-skinned man. You know what I'm saying? Mama came out dark skin. Then mama dark skin, I'm a beanie. Dad was very light-skinned himself. So Tupac with that, he a dark skinned mixed racial biggest, not racial mixed multiracial, multiracial brother, but look pure black, but ain't pure black. Anyway, try that racial loyalty, but only go with sisters and not no white woman. But a white woman took her time to go visit this brother. Talking about Madonna, she in her nasty thought days. I'm gonna
I
get me
remember.
Madonna. Yeah, I
Madonna
was into
wanted to
Madonna back in the
invade
days.
Tupac.
Yeah, I was into Madonna. Me and Madonna, my birthday's not that far apart, and she a Leo just like me. But I was into Madonna heavily. Okay, and I wanted to get that sex book. God forgive me. But, okay, back in 1992. Okay, so when she went out to her wing to go visit Tupac like, no, you're a white woman. You know what I'm saying? Where were the same sisters that whine about color is in the vesting channels? Where were them when Tupac was locked up? And so he and I do, and it was a sister about my complexion that lied on him. Anana Jackson, whatever named Pink, the Carolyn Bryan, and Emma Till. I bet her that's her distant cousin who got white blood. That's her distant cousin talking about Carolyn Bryan. When be sure they both related. Anyway, where was her behind? Where was these sisters' ass? Some cuz up here in that petition trying to get that man out of prison and protest like they in Black Lives Matter. They ain't do none of that. But a white woman in her third day, Madonna, went and visited Tupac. And he broke the relationship up. See what I'm saying? So
I remember.
I forget. So that's why I say that he should be locked up, talking about Jerry Meeks, because if that's the case, no, if you did your time, it's good. But if it's based on some colorist and racial stuff, I'm against that. You know what I'm saying? Period. I'm against that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he was innocent of the stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, get him out of prison. But if you guilty of stuff that apply to everybody, guys, whether dark, light, bright, kinky hair, curly hair, white, Mexican, whatever, doesn't matter. They apply to all. You know what I'm saying? And
I
like
agree.
I say, the
Okay,
same
now
stuff.
I see your point. Yeah, I see your point, Zachariah.
Yeah.
I agree with that though. But yeah, he was let out though because they were like, "Oh my God, this is a fine light-skinned guy with blue eyes. Let's get him out."
I'm
Like,
okay.
you do the crime, you gotta do the time. I can
Right.
agree with that.
That's the point. I'm not hating on because the way you look. I'm hating on how they let that man out based on it. But you got many brothers locked up. The same old pro-black sisters, okay, that signed it. They ain't out here trying to get them brothers out the Innocent Project that I'm sorry to bash Kamala Harris that she locked up. Okay, they not out there protesting, saying, "Sister Kamala Harris, we voted for you. Get these brothers who are innocent in California out of prison." They not doing it, but they sit here. Oh my God, he got a blue eye. Oh, baby girl, yeah, Keisha, you see this here? You
But
come say, Keisha girl, come
yeah,
on, come on.
I agree with you, man. I agree though. I mean, those are the types of girls that would still bash the unions that created us, but yet they're going to go and salivate over him. Because I'm like, girls, you know that Meeks has a white mom, right?
They'll say, I don't care. We got one job, black and black.
But don't you think it's hypocritical of them to now oppose the union that created me? You like
Right.
me, but you don't like my mom.
Right. And they'll say, well we got white, too. But we got one job, black and black. I don't care.
I agree.
I see what you guys are saying, and definitely because of where I'm from and my upbringing, I know that it's not really my place to say anything about that, but that doesn't make a lot of sense what you're describing. Yeah, I mean, it's like apparently you are accepted in a race just because somebody likes you, and it's something, or as long as you say the right things. But as the moment that you don't say what is expected of you to say, then you're not of that race anymore. That's something that apparently happens with can happen with biracials, but it can also happen with the FBAs. I mean, if you don't say, if you don't toe the line when it comes to what they say, what the FBA say, then you're not considered to be Black American. You are considered to be a like a feather or something. So it's kind of like
Yes.
apparently it has to do with whether you are saying the right things or not. If you're not saying the right things, then all of a sudden your race changes. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
American racial
I've been
dynamics
seeing
are
in the
very
comment
weird like
section
that.
about me because I was on Fighter's channel, right? And some of the FBA people say that man ain't no FBA. Talking about me. I said, I said,
Yeah, but like I was saying, because you were because most likely you weren't agreeing with them. Maybe you have something that you were disagreeing with them about, and all of a sudden, because of that, then you are considered some other race. I mean, just attack the disagreement, deal with the disagreement, call out a person because of the disagreement, but just because there is a disagreement, just don't start saying that somebody is of a different race. I mean, making assumptions like that, like no, nobody knows. What does that have to do with somebody's DNA? I mean, that
yeah,
it
they,
doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
they said the same thing to Jennifer Lopez back in the day. They said Jennifer Lopez black. You know, Puerto Rican black, y'all. You know, I remember getting now when she came out, All Lives Matter or something about the gay club. They got shot. She
Uh-huh.
ain't black. She a white Hispanic. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. When I was coming up, y'all said that she black. You know, because Puerto Ricans have black blood. I keep reminding them, so do Mexicans too. Okay, and all of a sudden, because of viewpoints, they not black no more. They are
Yeah.
white. And they said I was on Black Skin Mason channel and they were arguing about that too. And I'm like, no, I stay on code. Whatever your ancestry is who you are. You know what I'm saying? I get people think of stereotypes, but no, that your gender. Like for example, I always tell people I'm my own person. I'm African American, French, Spanish, Creole, English, Irish, Native American. That is my background. That's what I trace. That's who I am. That's what let me here. Okay, I'm not gonna change my racial identity because it doesn't fit people's agenda. And they do that mess. They did it to Zendaya when she tried to play Aaliyah. They
Mm.
forgot the Aaliyah part Native American. Her mama buried in them. Their mama Anita Native American. That's one of the tribes. And I didn't know that Aaliyah daddy was Jamaican descent. I did not know that. Well, anyway, when Zendaya tried to play Aaliyah, when I was on YouTube, I missed some days. I was defending that she should play Aaliyah. And they talking about she too light. I said Aaliyah is like, and I saw someone that said Leah was chocolate. I said, I'm darker than Leah. There's no way in hell she's chocolate. I say, show these folks delusion. I was laughing, me. That's how me and Lovey T on YouTube didn't get along because that Leah controversy. I'll never forget that. So then when Zendaya said she a biracial woman, the same people that said she not black, she biracial, she shouldn't play Aaliyah, they were saying, you black. How dare you? How dare you? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Well, it's kind of like that thing trying to claim people. I mean, she's clearly, if you look at her parents, then yeah, she's biracial or racially mixed. But that whole thing about trying to force a racial label on somebody, even I'm gonna use another example before I step out. It's kind of like what happens with the whole argument, the long argument that Armando knows what I'm talking about when it comes to trying to force the black label
mhm,
on Dominicans. There are certain Black Americans that are trying to force the black label on Dominicans, and when Dominicans say that they're not black, even though they might be Afro descendant and dark skin, they say
mhm.
that they're not black, then they get mad. They start having a problem, but that's because they're not getting what they're saying. Even if a Dominican is dark skin, Afro descendant, they already know that they can look at themselves in the mirror and know what they are. But the thing is that a Dominican is not an African American at the same time.
Right.
That's not possible. And that's what they mean when they say that they're not black. In the context of the United States, black means Afro American, African American. A Dominican is not an
But
African American. I mean, they can't be both things at the same time, and that's where the whole argument comes from.
what,
You're anti-black. You're in denial. You're black, and this and that. No, 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 no. These folks are Dominicans. It's just that there are Dominicans that are Afro descendant, and there are many of them that are. I have been to the DR. I know that they are there. It's just that A Dominican cannot be African American at the same time. So the backgrounds are not the same. Maybe the racial heritage may be very similar, very much alike, but the backgrounds when it comes to culture are not the same.
Right.
That's something
I
that
know.
it can be recognized and people can move on from there. I mean, there doesn't have to be any beef and arguing.
But blame the black nationalism in New York and Chicago. The black nationalism caused that mess.
Hmm.
The black nationalism that's paid by the Ku Klux Klan caused that mess. But no, I'm not refuting what you're saying. In the United States, that's just what the reason why some ADOS people get offended. Okay, I need you to listen. As an ADOS person with Hispanic roots from Louisiana, not Latin America, because Latinos, not just Dominicans, in the past when they put them as white, when Lulac and Jose Vicacel's or Ras Macasca essay that caused his man to be blaming Spain. No, it was, I was telling Black Skin Mates last night, it was Jose Vicacel's essay, La Ras Macasca caused his problem. In Texas, in other parts, there were Latinos that helped white people due to the white label. You get what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, due to the white label trying to catch up to white people doing Jim Crow and after. And of course, if you know the history of slavery in Texas, Tejano soldiers did slave African Americans. They also helped Sam Houston to fight Santa Anna for slavery here in Texas. This whole thing comes out. So even though Dominicans are not Mexican, they put on the umbrella of being Hispanic. So and then the idea when black nationalism came in the 60s to go against Martin King's dream, because the idea of the Klan Pan Nation Islam was to get at Martin Luther King. That's why they was trying to get Malcolm X to kill Martin Luther King when they went to go visit them in Atlanta, Georgia back in 1961. Okay? Then Malcolm said, no, I'm not killing Martin King because they wanted segregation. They want someone to be promoting segregation in this country. Okay? So when you see an Afro-looking Latino, the first thing they say they're not black, it comes up, you don't want to be black because the racism of this country. You're saying black versus white, okay? You trying to, that's the idea that comes in their head. Second of all, they're not educated by Latin America, do not run like the United States, as you mentioned earlier. And like I say, I'm also bringing this up. We have had Afro Latinos being part of African American culture. Okay. For example, a lot of people don't know that Dee Dee Jackson is Dominican. Talking about Michael Jackson's sister-in-law. Talking about it's Tito's ex-wife, the one that died in the pool in Los Angeles. Dee Dee, she was talking about three T, three T's, the three nephews that Michael, the two light skinned nephews that Michael Jackson's nephew, Tito's brother, they're part Dominican. A lot of folks, I was telling Armando, he did not know that her parents from Dominican Republic.
Yeah, but well, the Jacksons, they're not black anymore. The Jacksons, the younger Jacksons, they're a bunch of biracials. They're a bunch of light skinned people now. They're not
Michael
black all
Jackson
the way.
people they're not fully black either. I'm not arguing about that. I'm just saying that Tito Jackson's wife, a lot
Yeah.
of folks do not know that she was Hispanic. Okay, she's one of the Latinas that you did not know that she was Hispanic. You thought she was a light-skinned African American woman. Same thing when it came to Benny Medina. You know, Fresh Prince is not about Will Smith. It's about Benny Medina. Benny Medina is Dominican. You know, right?
Well, I know that he must have been some type of Hispanic, but it's never talked about the nationality he descends from. You know, his ancestry is okay. Um, uh, it is always mentioned the name, and the name suggests that he could be Hispanic. But Medina, if you look at the word Medina, that's a location in the Middle East. So
No,
that,
Benny Medina is Dominican. the
No, no,
producer
no,
of
no, yeah.
Fresh Prince. No, he
No,
is.
okay, okay. No, no, no. I'm talking about the word.
I'm
I'm talking
saying
about the
that
word.
Fresh Prince was about an Afro Latino. It was not
No,
about
okay, yeah,
okay, you get my point. But he
yeah.
chose Will Smith to play him because it is about his reality, him being in instead of the family, the Banks family was actually a white family. Him as an Afro Latino Dominican living in Bel Air amongst a white family. But when he came into the scene, he changed it to an African American wealthy family and said it's the nephew from Philly to make it look like Will Smith, and Will Smith's from Philly. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. So if you actually, you know what I'm saying? Fresh Prince is not about an African American man. It's about an Afro Latino man, Dominican man who was living amongst white people in Bel Air. But him as a Latino Hispanic Dominican, chose an African American descendant man to play him in the African descendant family that's wealthy. Because it was a white family. If you actually break it down, what I'm saying is, I'm not questioning the idea that Fresh Prince is not a good show. It was a good show,
No, I didn't
but
say anything about the show. I mean, I loved
no,
it.
you
Loved it
missed the
myself.
point, Ramon. You missed the point. That's
Mhm.
an Afro Latino who's Dominican did not educate people to let folks know that someone like him exists. He went in going on, and I'm going to use the word tether, pretend to be African descendant, pick the African American descendant man and portray him. Because people, when they see Fresh Prince, they don't see Ben Medina who's behind the idea. They see Will Smith. Okay, it'd been nice for him as an Afro Latino to get an Afro Latino to play him to educate back in 1980s. That's why you have African people coming up to Afro looking Dominicans and say, you black, you black, you black, because of this mess. That I'm glad that what's the name played Romeo in the Steve Tyler show. He Dominican. God dog, what's his name? Murder Santana, the one that got killed in Los Angeles. Murder
Yeah.
Santana told Steve Harvey, I want to play an Afro Latino. You know what I'm saying? In this, I'm not playing an African American. You know what I'm saying? And that was to educate that Latinos can look like him. You know what I'm saying? This is back in 1990s, and I'm glad that Murder Santana did that. Billy Medina, as a Dominican, did not do that. He went along as African American. You get my point? He went along and got Adolph's brother to play him. And I'm understanding he didn't want to put a white family because he wanted to show Africans to be wealthy too. But it educated the only Latino that was on there was Ashley talking about what's the name, Panamanian and Trinidadian East Indian talking about Tata Ali. You know what I'm saying? So and he said for years West name been pretending to be Dominican talking about Carter, Alfonso Ribeiro, but we found out he Trinidadian. He not a Dominican, he Trinidadian.
Well, Alfonso Rivero always kind of like, I thought that he could have been Brazilian because of the name. I mean, because it's kind of Portuguese. The name of his, I thought that he could have been Brazilian.
Yeah,
But
but you have Brazilian, you have Portuguese that did go to Trinidad. The
no, again, because of the Portuguese sounding name, I didn't think Trinidad, because Trinidad is kind of like more English speaking. So I thought that he could have been a
and
Portuguese
Spanish too,
or from
because you got a lot of
South America.
Venezuelans.
Yeah.
I mean, cause I got a lot of East Indian and Venezuelans and Hispanic culture there. Because I meet people from met people from Trinidad before Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Okay, and they will tell you their ancestry got Chinese, black, Spaniard from Spain. Some have Venezuelan, Portuguese. It's a mixture down there in what's it called in Trinidad. I mean, one girl, she bought my play with a perm in her head. Her sister, dark skin, straight hair. That at the Caribbean Festival back in 1999. Marcia. See, it's not Marsha. It's pronounced Marcia like it's in Spanish. Okay, Marcia. Marcia. So we was at Equinox International, that pyramid scheme. I forget. Back in 99, we and I was getting frauded. But anyway, she's making money. And I wasn't making this much money. Anyway, point is, and we saw each other at the Caribbean Festival. She showed me her sisters were dark brown with some straight hair. and she looked East Indian, straight up East Indian. You can tell she's a black girl, but she can pass with a dark East Indian too, and that's our family tree. So they're very mixed down there. Okay, like people shot that Nicki Minaj part Asian and part East Indian. I'm not because I'm educated about that. And what's the name? Cardi B, but your mama not black. Of course, mine ain't pure, but her mom part Spaniard and black. You know what I'm saying? From Trinidad, her dad Dominican. You know what I'm saying? That's very common in Trinidad, and Tata Lee is also Trinidad too, Trinidad as well. But Fonso Bell for years was said that he was Dominican until I was homeless, and we had a Trinidadian brother, and Uzi worked at Kroger's. He said, "No, he's not Dominican. He Trinidad." I said, "No, Carlton. I tell all Hispanic people the Carlton Hispanic. He did Dominican. No, he not. Now we're gonna Wikipedia, and they said straight up he Dominican. He Trinidad. I said, why he would lie like that? Why would he lie to be Dominican all these years? You know what I'm saying? And now he Trinidadian. Benny Ocean.
But yeah. He's yeah. When it comes to Cardi B, I have actually seen clips of interviews, radio interviews that she has done in Spanish, and she has the Dominican accent. So I think that's the influence that is more predominant with her, because she's actually very fluent, surprisingly.
Mhm.
So surprisingly articulate and fluent in Spanish with the Dominican accent.
Yeah.
So that I don't know how much of the Trinidadian part does she carry. So,
That's on
but yeah.
her mom is Trinidadian. Her mom is
Oh, okay.
part African, part Spaniard from Trinidad. Because people forget the trick. Because I met people who are part Hispanic, and they're not Venezuelan because Spaniards they go to Trinidad. It's trendy. You know what I'm saying? It's Hispanic, but it makes sense. Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? That means trendy in Spanish. Right. So yeah, and they have. I remember I watched a Caribbean rhythm. I missed the OBET Caribbean rhythms, and there was a Carlos Leon, Carlos Garcia, something like that. There was an Indian man. You know, he could be mixed Spanish too, but he had Spanish name and last name, Indian, and he was doing this Indian dancing from Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? They're Caribbean rhythms, and it was Carlos Garcia, Carlos, or one of them dog names, Carlos something, and they were doing this Indian dance and jump up and down. You know, and the women like the bed dot. I said, dang, it's very mixed like that. They got a Spanish last name. You know what I'm saying? East Indian, and they're from Trinidad. They put the country, at the bottom of the screen, what country from in the Caribbean. Yeah, y'all remember Caribbean Rhythms on BET with Rachel? The Jamaican
No,
woman.
I never watched BET. I didn't have that
This
growing up.
back in the day, not BT Viacom now, but BT back in the day when Mr. Johnson used to own it, it was the shit. I hate the fact that Mr. Johnson, their old crazy brother, sold his business to Viacom because now it's fucked up.
Yeah,
BT,
I know, but he became a billionaire in the process. So yeah, you have to look at it for that. Maybe he was older and he wanted to retire, and well, he retired rich. So one can't really blame her. Unfortunately, yes, it has become the concept that BET has become more corporate, and now he is being used to push agendas. From what I hear, I don't watch it, but that's what I hear. That it's used to be to push certain social agendas that are very divisive to a certain demographic. So yeah, he could have kept it, but maybe he just wanted to retire and wanted to retire comfortably and rich. So I can't really blame the man for doing that. And with that said, I have to step out. So hey, it was nice talking with you, and also DonArmando. I'll see you guys on the next one.
all
All
right.
right, take care, you guys.
All right.
Armando.
All right. Thank-
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you remember BET was the shit back in the day? You about my age, you remember?
Yeah.
Hello?
I mean, I remember
BET.
it was like, okay. Uh, yeah, I'm here. I mean, I remember when it was BET, right? And
Mm-hmm.
my parents didn't have cable. So I used to go and watch all my cousins whenever I used to babysit my little cousin, right? He used to
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch the BT, and BT was more BT at that time was more about how should I say black unity and black empowerment and
Yes.
black knowledge, right? All
Right.
this was all before the reality TV era. When I was with my ex, right? She was
Mhm.
8 hours with Cherokee, right? She went
Right.
up and she always used to put that crap, and then I used to watch my Spike TV. She used to go around and take off my Spike TV and just to watch
Remember you told me that.
this crap. I was like, I don't want to watch this, and that's the argument.
Yeah. But I'm
Yeah,
talking when
because
you was a
it
kid.
was crap at that. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
when
Mr.
it was a
Johnson's
kid, this is why BT luxury.
yeah, BET
Yeah,
became ghetto and stuff. They became a mission show. You know what I'm saying? Back then, BET was they had Latinos on it, some Caribbean rhythms. They had Lizette Menendez. Remember Lizette Menendez, the Puerto Rican chick? She had a song called
yeah,
Goody Goody.
yeah,
Yeah, they play her song on Caribbean because you know she's from Caribbean. Because they had Rachel Fine, sister too, from Jamaica, Fine too. Yeah, she was a host on Caribbean Rhythms, and I missed them days, and that's how they because Caribbean Rhythms also play salsa music. You know what I'm saying? Latin music. They play reggae music, Latin, calypso, and I remember seeing a Trinidadian. It was Carlos Leon or Carlos something, and he was Indian, like Indo Trinidad and Hispanic. His last name is first name Hispanic, right? And he had these Indian women that were doing some type of dance. I said, what? I said, dang, he very mixed down there. I said, I don't know if he got black and be East Indian, got a Spanish name, and he from Trinidad. I said, dang. I said, they was on Caribbean. They sometimes play the Gypsy Kings. You know, they're from Spain. They'll play
yeah.
Gloria Estefan, Mi Tierra. I don't forget. I have a good memory. I said, yeah, they got Mi Tierra on Caribbean. You know, she's from Cuba. Yeah, I said, dang. So I missed those doggone days. They had, Shaba
Me
ranks,
too.
all that shit. Yeah, Patra. I mean, Patra.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yo,
Pop.
if you know my wife, you know my wife is here. That was one of the first Jamaican women that I was like, wow. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
Yep.
Hello? Yeah, she will
Yeah, I'm
find.
here.
Oh, I love Miss Patra with dark skin. Beautiful, too. Queen of Pop. Twerking. People know twerking. She did.
Yes.
She was working with class. And she was beautiful. Beautiful and
Right.
chocolate with them long ways. Yes.
Yep. And
Yep.
you
She
know
kind of
what?
resembles a mild negative a little bit too.
Yeah. Well,
Queen of,
well, it looks like that I gotta close this because I gotta work tomorrow. But tomorrow
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna have another stream. It's gonna be about Afro Latinos. So
mm-hmm,
I'm gonna drop the link I guess the StreamYard link tomorrow. So, you know, we just do
mm-hmm.
what we gotta do
Okay.
and educate the world because at the end of the day, right? You and I we've
Mm-hmm.
been in streams where it actually has a whole bunch of uneducated people.
Yes.
And it's to
These
and it's
gotta
to
get
the
ratchet.
point. It's not even ratchet. I'm not gonna say a certain person's name, but I presented all the evidence when it was Fighter Stream, right? And people were
Mm-hmm.
still trying to tell me who the heck I am. So my thing is this: these guys are so committed on trying to hate who I am just because of another guy by the name of Creyente, right?
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, these people are just so turncoatish. I don't. I just thought that in a certain case, it was like this is a waste of time. You can't go around and convince people who are just so committed to misunderstanding you. Like these people didn't go to school or anything like that. You get what I'm trying to say?
They didn't. They didn't. They didn't go to school. Can I say one of the names that Santiago
Oh,
do? The one we saying Daniel. He said he finished. He left school at 12 years old. He does truck driving. That's why he got money. And the real about the other, I'm not trying to make fun. When they start saying like bluish, like they finished school, they got their GED, that makes a lot of sense. They didn't go further because I was reading books in like college book about this mixed identity and heritage and black and Hispanic history. And when I was in my 10 years, that's why I let people don't like me arguing with them because I go to the point and showing it. But yeah, it's lack of education, from the people on there. And then two, when you mentioned that, when I told Ramon about being Medina, that's another reason why that is uneducated because Benny Medina had a chance to put. I ain't trying to bash Will Smith, my brother, my AR brother, but he put Will Smith. People think Will Smith think the whole Fresh Prince was about some African man leaving Philly and going to a mostly white area, but it's an African household, his uncle and auntie them. But no, Benny Medina, who's Dominican, it's a reality of his life, him as an Afro Latino Dominican man living with wealthy white folks. You see what I'm saying? If he would have kept it real and put a Dominican character on it or another Afro Latino who's not Dominican, it would educate the people. You see what I'm saying? So a
Right.
lot of these people. A lot of these people, that's what I'm saying. This man's in me, as I was trying to tell Ramon, because he's saying about how the Afro American, the same people going up to Dominicans, and you not you black, you not this and that. I said, but see, you had Michael Jackson's sister-in-law, Dee Dee. No offense to her, she was 19 killed by that millionaire brother in that pool, but she was Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Tito's wife.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of
Because
people,
my
much of
mother,
these,
my mother,
huh?
she always said that to me. Like when I was like in, she always told me about the Jacksons because, you know, the Jacksons biopic came out like in 1992. So
Mm-hmm.
there was a time in my life I used to listen to all the old Jackson songs. And then she used to say like, one of them went up and married a Dominican. So I did my research and what a lot of people don't know is that 3T
That's wrong.
and
3-2. Yeah, they Dominican.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. The mama
So
died in that pool
if you
back in '94 when the old Jason. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, so my thing is this: since a lot of people that do not really know their history or whatever, and then when I was saying like about Dominican laws and everything, they were saying, "Oh, you know, no, that didn't happen." I was like, what are you reading, bro? Like you're so committed to prove everything wrong when the fact is I'm actually spitting facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like at the
Right.
end of the day, I'm like, yo, I just like I don't be with ignorant people, and it's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then you got
It's
certain people
same.
that they want to talk that
Yeah.
Afro. They want to go talk about, oh yeah, I'm an alpha male. Like, no, you're not, because I
They're
know
not.
one person. I'm going to tell you who's not even an alpha male, and I'm going to tell you why. If you're an alpha male and you have somebody in the and you're known throughout the panels for just being stupid and cursing out women. The last, the last time I checked, alpha males don't do that. Just
Right.
keep
Well, I mean,
moving, and that's
I
it.
defend myself. Yeah. 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 But yeah, I understand. And also too. Well, see, I learned I ain't the perfect Catholic Christian, but I started praying about this stuff, and that's how I
Hmm.
know the trolls that be saying that we not this, we not that. They turn on each other. You know, Louis Schlatters getting a lot of hell from those other biracial dudes. You know that, right? Yeah,
Really?
it's funny. Uh, what's his name? Hybrid Vigor been going after Bush
Yeah.
Lotto. What's the other? Jake Bell. Jake. Hybrid Vigor and I, we never had a hardly no beef, but Jake
Oh,
Bell and
oh yeah.
yeah, they've been going. They said they've been talking. They downloaded his old videos and they talk. I said, uh huh. It's funny. These dudes not hybrid, but the others trash me on Bluish channel, right? Used to talk bad
Right.
about me, say I'm not Meeks. It's funny they had my channel taken down. Now all of a sudden, these same dudes, while they was trash talking me on Bluish, they downloaded his videos, put it on Discord talking trash. And Bluish was mad. This was today. Well, yeah. So I was trying to get my financial stuff on for next year. And I fell asleep. I started listening to the videos, and I remember listening to Hybrid Vickers video bashing Bluish, and he was talking. So Bluish was saying, "Yeah, Jake Bell and Foster used to be on my panel when I had my investors on here, and they talking Bell on Discord, and you had Miss M. I said, uh huh. Now Miss M turned against him, but those same dudes that was talking shit about me to Bluish, they was actually pretending to be Bluish friend. You know what I'm saying? Downloaded his videos, put it on Discord, talking trash, and using it to bash. I said something. I said, that's some karma right there. I said, it's funny that they would talk about me, saying I'm not me, this and that. And he would talk bad about Buzz, talking about uh that I'm not this that he don't like Ackerman saying me, Coco Black, me and talking about Bluish, and but we biracial being come together. But the same Coco biracial dudes came together, and it was actually downloading his videos and talking trash about him and doing him dirty. I said it's weird, but see, Bluish don't understand. Enemies come in all colors. I don't know what is going on down in Ohio with Busy Bone, who's part Italian from, okay, in Cleveland, Ohio, because he made it, and Busy Bone ain't acting like Bluish, okay, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is that I don't know what's going on in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a lot of poverty over there in Cleveland, but he thought them crazy buzz down there who have self-esteem issues will bash him based on his looks. But it's funny, dudes that look similar to him with a white parent are now doing the same thing that them brothers who got mixed background claim to be pure black. They do the same thing to him. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah. So
so my
I'm
thing
about to
is,
cut. I'm about to cut it
yeah,
off because
I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna be short on this one. But I'm saying, see, the same dude is talking about you, said he in Dominican. Watch this. They'll be talking trash about each other. Watch. Okay, nice talking to you.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's it, folks. I actually like the stream. Tune in for tomorrow because the topic will be who are Afro Latinos. This is a group that I identify with. So stay tuned and stay safe because it's weird out here. And also have a new year too. Have a very happy new year. I'm out.